Oh, happy Saturday. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everybody. Hope you are doing well. Trying to reposition this thing here so it'll show up the way I want it to show up. I think that might be the best way to go right there. That's going to give me the best bang for the buck. So get a little bit closer here. There we go. I think that's almost there. Almost. Getting close. We're getting very close. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it right there. Hello, Brian B. Hello, Kenyon, and hello, Ben. Good to see all of you. We are back for the NBC Game of the Week, and we are coming to you. If I can get this thing right here, let me back it up just a little bit. Like that, maybe. It's a work in progress. Here we go. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it right there. I had the overhead light on, but it was giving a glare, so I don't know. Turn it back on, but I think it's going to be too much of a glare for this. Looks like it's going to be too much of a glare. You see it like a laser, almost like a Star Wars, what do you call those things? Lightsaber kind of look to it, so I don't think that's going to work very well. So we'll go with what we got here. We are at County Stadium in Milwaukee. The date of this replay game is July the 7th, 1979, a Saturday. And it's the Detroit Tigers taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Not exactly a stellar pitching matchup. Paul Mitchell for the Brewers and Pat Underwood for the Tigers. So, but you never know. Sometimes the things you think aren't going to be that great end up being a decent matchup. So we'll wait and see. Got a little tokens here so that we can figure out what the bullpen sessions will be for these two guys. First, we'll start with the bullpen session of Paul Mitchell. And we get an 18. But I'm not sure you can even see that. Let's see if I can somehow manage to take the glare off. It's going to be a little glare there, unfortunately. Don't think there's anything I can do about that. Yes, I moved it. I could always move this. Move this a little bit over here, like that, to get the glare off of there. Maybe that'll help. Hopefully that helps a little bit better now. All right, so the roll was an 18. Like I said, I'm not sure. I might need a different die because I'm not sure if this black die, all of the white numbers stand out pretty decently, you would think. So it's an 18, which means he's on his C grades. Pat Underwood is a 10, so he's on his B grades. So I think everything is about as good as you can see it now. We got light, but we don't have that lightsaber thing annoyingly being in the way. I think everything else down just a hair so we can see those outs. If I can try to get it to stay right here if I can. There we go. All right, it's a little cat corner, but you can't have everything, you know. All right, so we're going to start things off with Ron LaFleur, center fielder for the Tigers. And we do have, or I do have handy, the team sheets for both of these teams, so we're looking for those. I got the error sheets over here. Got the game book set at bases empty for the out chart. And we'll see what happens here. So we get a 34, and a 34 is going to be a single right off the bat. And did I leave something out? I think I left the Tiger base runners in their envelopes. Let me pull them out real quick. Always forget something, apparently. So a base hit for Ron LaFleur. Base hit Ron LaFleur. And, of course, now we get fire engines, which is a typical sound around here, since I live right by a fire station. And it is, before I came up here, I did run or drive down quickly to the dump to take our trash, and it was definitely a little toasty out there. I will tell you that. No question about it. It is definitely a little bit on the toasty side out there. So at 12:07 p.m., it is 98 degrees with a feel-like temperature of 112. So there you go. 98 degrees, feel-like temperature 112 here at 12:07. And it's supposed to get up to 102 by like 2 o'clock. And then some storms are supposed to come. I don't know how much they'll cool things down, but hopefully it will. So here comes Lou Whitaker stepping to the plate. Whitaker, a 33, and that's a double. And that's going to end up being on Whitaker, a single. We'll check the runner advancement. With the runner on first, a single. And now we'll roll the D20 and see what the advancement is. It's a 15. And it's going to be a base hit to center if advanced to third, the center fielder has a weak arm. All right, the center fielder for the Brewers in this case is Gorman Thomas. Gorman Thomas has actually a strong arm, not a weak arm. So that means LaFleur's got to stop at second base. So first and second, nobody out. And that'll send us up to Steve Kemp. Steve Kemp. Get a 41, and that's going to be a walk on a 1-6. So we'll see if there's a 1-6 here. There is not. So there will be an out. So we'll go to runners at first and second and find out what kind of an out we're looking at. That's a 13. We are looking at with a left-handed hitter, a ground ball to first, fielder's choice, 3-6. However, a strong arm shortstop turns the double play. Shortstop is Paul Molitor. I don't think he has a strong arm, but we'll double check it. No, he's actually got a weak arm. So it will be a 3-6 fielder's choice. So the runner at second is out. One away. 3-6. Whitaker is out of there. Runners on the corners now with one out. For the cleanup man, Jason Thompson. The infield for the Brewers is laying back for the double play. Hello, Barbara and Ernest, and anybody else I might have missed coming in. Here is Jason Thompson. 62 for Thompson, and that's going to be a out. We'll check the out chart. Runners at the corners. Infield was playing back for a double play, and the out will be an 8. That's a fly to center. Runners hold. However, a fast or average runner on third can run with risk. Well, LaFleur obviously is fast. In fact, he's very fast. Got the F exclamation point, so he's extremely fast. So it says he can run with risk. And the center fielder, in this case, Gorman Thomas, though, does have a strong arm. So he's out 1-4, safe only 5-6. So I don't think it's worth the risk. They will hold LaFleur at third base. It's going to be up to Champ Summers, the right fielder, to try to get the run home with 2 outs now. That's a 42, and that's going to be another out, and that'll end the inning. The out will be a 13. And it's a ground ball to first, and that's going to end the inning. So Paul Mitchell pitches out of the mess, and the Tigers come away empty-handed, leaving 2 runners on base. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is Detroit nothing, and the Brew Crew coming to bat. Maybe could have sent LaFleur, but 1-4, he would have been out. The only safe numbers would have been 5 or 6, and that's very dangerous to try that. So leading off will be Paul Molitor. He is playing the shortstop position. He came up as a shortstop. I know he's more known for third base, second base, or DH, but he came up as a shortstop. He'll be facing a left-handed pitching Pat Underwood, who's using his B grades right here in the middle of the column. That's a 43. 43 is an out. Let's see what kind of out it is. Go back to our bases empty out chart. That's a 1. It's just a tapper right back to the mound. And that's 1 away. 1 down for Don Money. Money. He is playing at second base in this game. 42. That's another out. And the out will be a 5. So that's going to be a ground ball to third. 2 up and 2 down for third baseman Sal Bando. That's a 14 for Bando. He is out. And that's going to be a fly to left. So 1-2-3 inning for Pat Underwood. And at the end of 1, we got no score from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Top of the second we go. And Rusty Staub, the veteran Rusty Staub, designated hitter. We get a 45 on Mitchell, and that's an out on on any grade. And the out will be a ground ball to short. That's 6 there. So Staub is out, 1 away for Lance Parrish, the catcher. 41, that's going to be a walk on a 1-6. Anything else, he'll be out. Let's see if we get a 1-6. We do. We get a 4. So had he been on his A grades or B grades, that would have been a regular out. But since he's on his C grades, it's going to end up being a walk. So he will walk Lance Parrish. So 1 out, Parrish at first for veteran third baseman Aurelio Rodriguez. 63, that's an out. Go to our out chart. Run on first and a 9. That's going to be a fly ball to right, 2 down. And it's up to young Alan Trammell to get things done. That is a 12 for Trammell, and he is out on a 12. And that will be a fly to center to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Tigers. They get a walk and nothing else. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Due up for the Brew Crew will be slugging Gorman Thomas. He had 45 home runs in 1979. 56, and that's going to be a straight out strikeout. 56, first strikeout for Underwood. Brings up Sixto Lescano. That's a 22. Doubles are good, like they say, and that's a base hit for Sixto Lescano. 1 out single for Lescano. Brings up Cecil Cooper, first baseman. And that is a 22 again. Doubles once again. That's a single plus. That means if the runner goes to third, Cooper will have to steal with that plus sign. But let's check runner advancement. With the runner at first, let's see what kind of single it is and where it went. And can the runner go to third? That is a 2. So a 2 says hit the center field, advance to third if the white die was a 2. The white die was a 2 because we rolled a 22. So that means the runner does take third base. So we got runners at the corners as Lescano scoots over to third base. But now Cecil Cooper has to go. It's mandatory in the rules. When you get that plus sign following the base hit, it's an automatic steal attempt. Cecil Cooper, look at his steal attempts here close up. His steal rating is 17. He stole 15 out of 18 bases. So that's pretty good. 17. Let's see if Lance Parrish affects it in any way. If Lance Parrish has a strong arm, it'll knock it down by 2. Average arm is no effect. He's got an average arm, so no effect. So 1-17, and Cooper steals second base, which he does. So Cooper with the steal. Puts runners at second and third with only 1 out. And that's going to cause the Brew Crew, it's going to cause the Tigers to bring the infield in for Dick Davis, the designated hitter. Runners at second and third. Infield is in with 1 out. 44. These doubles are killing the Tigers here. That's a base hit. We'll see what the advancement situation is. That is a 7. It says left field assist chance at home. Fast or average base runner takes second on the play. So the runner on third is going to score. We know that. Runner on first is there. If the batter is fast or average, he will take second on the throw. Davis is fast, so he takes second on the throw. But we got to throw home here. We got an assist chance. And so it's hit to, the 7 says it's hit to left field. So the left fielder for the Tigers is Steve Kemp. Let's see what his assist rating is in left field. His assist rating is a 5. So that means on a 1 to 5, that Cecil Cooper will be out at the plate. 6, he's safe. He is out at the plate. So nice throw there by the left fielder, Steve Kemp. Cuts the run down at the plate. Davis does get the RBI single and takes second on the throw. Lascano scores, and the Brew Crew lead it 1-0. But not for, if not for Steve Kemp, it would be 2-0. So I guess there's some solace in that. Here is Charlie Moore. 16 for Moore. He's out, and the out will be a 16. So with the runner on second, it's probably still a ground ball to short, I'd imagine. 16, yep, round out to short. And that will end the inning. So all of that, and the Brewers only get 1 run. Could have been a lot worse. We go to the third. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Due up for the Tigers. Be the top of the order, Ron LaFleur, speedster. Ron LaFleur, he singled his first time up, but was stranded at third base. So we'll see what he does second time around. Against Mr. Mitchell, and doubles again. 55. 1 to 6 is a double. 7 or higher is a single, and he will have to steal. And that's a single, so LaFleur will have to steal with that plus sign. Go to the catcher for Milwaukee, Charlie Moore, see what kind of arm he has. He has an average arm, so that's not going to affect anything. Go to LaFleur, look at his stolen base prowess. LaFleur is a 17 rating. He stole 78 out of 92 bases. So again, a 1 to 17, and he will steal second base. And he does, but barely. That's all that counts. Stolen base for LaFleur. Single plus the steal for Mr. LaFleur. That'll bring up Lou Whitaker. Tying run is at second base. Nobody out for Sweet Lou. 52. That's an error chance. Go to our error check and see who the error might be on in this middle 52 section. We get a 36, and that's we're checking the shortstop, Paul Molitor. So we're going to check Paul Molitor's error chance. Molitor at shortstop, his error rating is a 4. So the only way we have an error is on a 1 to 4. Anything 5 or higher, he makes the play. And he does make the play. And with that making the play, let's see here on the 36, shortstop, runner at second. It says, where'd it go here? Runner on second. Does it say anything about the out? Where's the out on here? I'm assuming the runner holds. It doesn't say anything on here about that I can find. It talks about hits. It doesn't talk about outs for some reason. Or if it does, I can't find it. All right, here it is. Maybe this is it right here. Runners on second and third. Hit the shortstop for second. Runners advance. Batter out at first. If playing in, then out at the plate. No, that's not it. We had a runner on second, not second and third. Runner on second. Let's see. Hit the pitcher, catcher, short, or third. Runners hold unless forced. Okay, so it was hit to short. He wasn't forced, so he's going to have to hold, which logically makes sense, but I wanted to verify the result. So 1 away. LaFleur still at second for Steve Kemp. 42 for Kemp, and that's going to be an out on Mitchell's card. And the out will be a 3. So runner on second and out chart 3 with a left-handed batter is a grounder to first. And the runner will go to third now with 2 outs. Cecil Cooper takes it to bag himself. 2 away, and it's up to Jason Thompson to get the run home. And doubles usually will do it. 33 is, although it's only a 1 to 2, everything else will be a walk. So he actually walks instead of gets the hit. Puts runners at the corners for Champ Summers. I don't think he's any relation to Brett Summers, but you never know. They might have been a match. Here's Summers. 26, that's a left-right split, and he is a lefty facing a righty, so he gets the base hit. It's an automatic 2-base advancement. So going to third is going to be Thompson, and the Tigers have tied this game at 1 apiece. Champ Summers coming through. Here's Rusty Staub. Staub, 64. A 64 is going to be an out under Mitchell's card. First and third, the out. 17 is just a fly to left to end the inning. But the Tigers tie it. And we go to the bottom of the third. Tied at 1. Due up for the Brew Crew will be Wolford, the number 9 hitter, and then Molitor and Money. Bottom of the third, tied at 1. Here is Mr. Wolford. 56, and that's going to be a strikeout for Underwood. That is his second. Wolford out of there. Brings up Molitor. 53, we're going to a range check. So we go to bring in our defensive chart again and look at 53, which is a range check. 45 says the range check is on the second baseman, Lou Whitaker. So we're checking Lou Whitaker for his range. Bring out Whitaker's rating. Check his range at second base. His range is a 12. 12. So a 12 or better, he will get to this. Or 1 to 12, I should say, he should get to this. 13 or higher, he does not. And he does make the play, so that's 2 away. Nice play by Sweet Lou. And that brings up Mr. Money. 15, and that's going to be an out for Don Money. And the out will be a grounder to third, since he's a right-handed batter. Would have been to first with a lefty. So we played 3 innings here at County Stadium. Nothing's been decided. We're tied at 1 apiece as we head to the 4th inning. Leading off for the Tigers will be the catcher, Lance Parrish. Dick Clark fan, are you talking about the game itself? This is Fall Classic Baseball. Fall Classic Baseball game. You can Google it or go to ASG Games, I think is the website for it, to find out about it. Cards are either PDF or printed, whichever you prefer. Let's see here. And they have practically every season from the turn of the century until now. I mean, there's a little bit in the early 1900s, but not a whole lot. Certainly anything from about 1920 on they have. Here is Lance Parrish. Yes, Ben, the printed card quality is great. The only thing about the printed set is that if you order it, expect about 2 weeks, because they don't print these until you order them. Once you order them, then they send it off to the printer, and that's why it takes about 2 weeks to get the cards. But well worth the wait. They're very, very good cards. The only thing I wish about the cards is that they had a little bit of team coloring to them, because when you spread them all out and mix the teams together, they look alike. A little bit of just a little stripe or something that had the team color on it, just so that it'd be easier to differentiate. But hey, minor little nitpick there. So, all right, here's Lance Parrish. 53, and we're back to a range check. And the range check is going to be on 44. It's going to be on the second baseman, Don Money. Oops, sorry, hit my little thing here. Don Money for the Brewers at second base. His range at second base. Don Money is only a 7, so he's got to roll a 1 to 7 to get to this. 8 or higher, it's a base hit. And that's a base hit, sneaking it through. So Lance Parrish, a leadoff single to start the top of the fourth. And that'll bring up, oops, wrong side. That'll bring up Aurelio Rodriguez. That is a 61, and that's going to be a strikeout on a 1-18. And that's exactly what we have, a strikeout for Paul Mitchell. That is his first strikeout of the game. One down, one on for a very young Alan Trammell. Don't see him batting ninth very often, but in 79, they typically had him batting ninth. 24, and that's going to be an out. And the out is a 6. This could be a double play. Runner at first. 6, ground up short. White die runners. Well, the white die was a 4, was not a 1. So it will be a double play unless the shortstop has a weak arm. And if I remember correctly, Paul Milder did have a weak arm at short. And let's see, Milder at short does have a weak arm. So it will not be a double play. It will be a fielder's choice, 6-4. So since Milder had a weak arm, he could not start the double play, get the good throw in to get the double play. And Trammell beat the throw. 2 down for Ron LaFleur. That's a 25, and he is out. And the out will be a ground ball to second to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, still tied at 1 apiece. Sal Bando will be the first hitter up for the Brew Crew against Pat Underwood, the lefty. It'll be Bando, Thomas, and Lascano. That's a 43. 43 is going to be an out on Underwood. And that's a 9, fly ball to right. On the way. And if anybody's new watching this, to decipher this, it's always the color die is the 10s and the white die is the 1s. Some games it's lower to higher, but this game it's this way, so that's a 43 because the red die is a 4. White die is a is the 1s. So if we had it like this, that would be a 14. So if you wanted 41, you'd have to make the red die a 4 and the white die a 1. So that's in case anybody's new that's watching this and maybe is a little unsure of how I'm reading the dice. That's the way you read them. All right, here is next man up, Gorman Thomas, Stormin Gorman. 23 for Gorman Thomas. That's a strikeout. And that's the third strikeout for Underwood. 2 down, and that's going to take us to Sixto Lascano. That's a 63, and that's going to be another strikeout, and that'll end the inning. 4th strikeout for Underwood. Nothing doing for the Brew Crew. We go to the 5th. Still 1-1. And we start with Lou Whitaker. Top of the 5th. Sweet Lou. We get a 24 on Lou, and that's a hit by pitch if it's a 1. Anything else, he's out. So he's not going to be hit by a pitch, so the out will be a fly to left. 1 away. In order to get the webcam over this section of the board that I wanted, I had to move the stand that holds it to the table closer to me, almost directly in front of me now. So every time I move, I'm liable to touch it. When I touch it, you get that. So I'm trying to avoid that, but sometimes it's almost unavoidable. All right, here is Mr. Kemp. 56, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Mr. Mitchell. Here's Jason Thompson. See, all I did was look down at the score sheet. My tip of my glasses hit the arm, and that's what caused that little bump. So it's very hard not to do that. The way I've got it set up right now. 13 for Thompson is an out. and a 10, which is a, let's see, base is empty. It's a line out to whatever the white die was in the outfield. The white die was a 3, so the out went to center field. It was a line out to center, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1 apiece. I was expecting more runs with this mediocre pitching matchup, but pitchers, to my surprise, have done a lot better than I thought. And up first is Cecil Cooper. That is a 25 for Cooper. He is out. And the out's going to be a 14, which is a ground ball to second. So Cooper is out, 1 away. For Dick Davis, the designated hitter, 61 for Davis, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Underwood. 2 quick outs for Charlie Moore. That is a 65, and that's a potential home run. The home run rate on Underwood is a 1-16. Charlie Moore does take 2 away from that, makes it a 1-14 because he had limited power. So we start with the 1-16, take away the 2 for limited power is a 1-14. So 1-14, and this one is gone. And it's not. It's a fly. It's a 20. So on a failed home run check, I believe it is a fly to center by default. I'm trying to remember. I know the ballpark one is. I think on the other one, I think you're supposed to re-roll this, but somebody can confirm it for me. Ben, you play this game quite a bit, I think. If it's a failed home fly to center, or do you roll for the out? I'm trying to remember. I know in the ballpark you use code 8 automatically. On this one, though, I think you're supposed to re-roll for the out. So in that case, it would be a ground to second. Not that it matters. It's 2 out, space is empty, so it's really irrelevant. So I'm just going to go ahead and call it a 4-3 ground out. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. It didn't affect anything. But I would like to, make sure I get the game right. Only play it once a week, so I'm so in tune to Strat-O-Matic that when I play something differently, it kind of throws me off a little bit. I've heard of Field Day. I've never played it. I don't know. Some people say Field Day is better than Fall Classic. I have no idea. But anyway, like I said, it only would have been important had we had base runners on. But since it was a third out of the inning, it really didn't make, a whole lot of difference. All right, so top of the 6th. Now we need to start looking at batters faced. Paul Mitchell can face 27 batters before he tires. So far, he has faced 22. So when we get to the bottom, when we get to Alan Trammell, that'll be his 27th batter face. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's Mitchell, 63, and that'll be an out. And Champ Summers will fly to left. 1 away. And that'll send up Rusty Staub. 26, that's a left-right split. Staub's a lefty and Mitchell's a righty, so Staub gets the base hit. Takes advantage of the platoon situation, so to speak, and gets that base hit. So 1 away for Lance Parrish. Okay, no D20. That's interesting. Here's Parrish, a 12. That's going to be an out. There's an X by his out result. See the X result, X by the 12 with the out result. That means if the out chart shows a ground ball, it'll be an automatic double play regardless of what the text says, because Parrish is apt to hit into double plays. But we have to see whether or not it's going to be a double play or not, whether it's a ground ball or not. The out is a 9, so it's a fly to right, so that overrides the X. And there's 2 away for Aurelio Rodriguez. And that is a 34 for Mitchell, and that's a base hit. So we'll check runner advancement. Runner on first. Oops. Runner on first, and we get a 6. Right, it's hit to right field, advance to third if there's 2 outs. So, yep, there's outs. So let's put runners on the corners as Staub, not the fleetest person in the world, but with 2 outs, he gets the head start. It's runners on the corners, 2 outs for Alan Trammell, and this is batter 27 for Mitchell. So he will be fatigued after this at bat. So this might be the end of the line for Mitchell. 22, the doubles will do it to him. That's a base hit. Tigers will take the lead. So we go to first and third and look at the hit chart and roll the D20 to figure out what the hit is. It is a 9, which is a hit to right field. Let's see, the run on first will hold at second, but can run to third with risk. Right fielder arm for the Brewers. The right fielder arm is Lascano. He's got a 4, so I don't think we want to run with risk. I think we're just going to take the single, the RBI single from Trammell. Stopping at second is Rodriguez, but scoring the go-ahead run is Rusty Staub. 2-1 Tigers, and now Mitchell is fatigued. So he actually now will default to his D grades unless they want to bring in a relief pitcher, which, you know, is obviously an option here. So we'll have to figure out what the manager, I guess in 79, it was with the Bamberger. Yeah, George Bamberger. So you want to give Mitchell one more chance to get LaFleur, or is he going straight to the bullpen? These are the arms available in the bullpen for the Brewers. These are the active bullpen arms: Jerry Augustine, Reggie Cleveland, Bob Galasso, and Bob McClure. So you got 2 lefties and 2 righties. You do have a righty coming up, but then you got 4 lefties in a row right after that. So I think what they're going to do, they're going to let Mitchell pitch to LaFleur, and regardless of whether he gets LaFleur out or not, he will come out after this, even if it's into the next inning, because you got all those lefties coming up. So they're going to let Mitchell pitch to LaFleur, and that's an 11. Doubles will kill you. 1 to 16 is a single. Higher than that's a walk. That's a 14. It'll be a single. He also has a plus sign there, so if second base is open, he can steal. So let's see what the base hit result is. First and second, we go to our hit chart and we roll an 18. It's hit to center field at 2 outs and assist chance is home. With less than 2 outs, the runner would hold at third, but with 2 outs and an assist chance, and the assist chance belongs to Gorman Thomas in center field. His assist chance is only a 2. He's got a strong arm, but his assist chance is only a 2. I guess that's an indication that a lot of people didn't run on him. So 2 is his only assist chance. So it has to be a 1 or 2 to throw the runner out. And he does not. In fact, it's a 6. It might be an error. So let's see here. It's possible throwing error. Roll the D20 versus the outfielder's error rating. His error rating is only a 3. So there's no throwing error on the play, but it will score the run. Let's see here. What does it say about the other people? Center fielder. Hold to third and run with risk. It doesn't say. Let me see about anything else here about the other runner. Doesn't really say what the other runner does. I can't find it in the book what the runner on first did. I know the runner on second scores. I don't know if the runner on first scores or not. I mean, goes to third or not. Or an assist chance. Doesn't really say on this. I'm going to assume he does not go anywhere because the book doesn't say he takes the extra base. So that's the way I'm going to play it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's the way I'm going to play it. Rodriguez does score. Trammell stops at second. If someone knows for sure, let me know. But the book kind of doesn't really say anything about it. In fact, I'll show the result in the book here. We did roll a result that said it was hit to center field, holds at third, but can run with risk to score. So the run with risk, you check the arm rating, and I'm sorry, it was an assist chance, not a run with risk. What I'm talking about, I rolled at 18. It's hit to center field, goes to third, and yeah, it just doesn't say anything. So I'm just going to hold him at second base and be done with it. That's going to be it for Paul Mitchell. He is done. He is tired, and he is going to come out, and they're going to bring in a left-hander to continue for the Brew Crew. And they will bring in Jerry Augustine, a left-hander. And he's going to try to get out of the mess. First and second, 2 outs. And we'll roll the bullpen session for Augustine. That's a 4. He's on his A grades. So Augustine on his A grades will be facing Lou Whitaker. First and second, 2 outs. And more doubles. That's what they needed, more doubles. 44 is a single. So that possibly can score another run. Go to the first and second hit chart. Roll 12. It's hit to center field, hold at third, but can run with risk to score again. So again, same situation. We're going to run with risk because it's only a 2. He's safe on 3, 4, 5, or 6. And this time they throw him out. So Gorman Thomas throws him out to end the inning. And they do not score any further. So it's a single for Whitaker, but out at the plate is Trammell, 8-2 to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for the Tigers, and they take a 3-1 lead going into the bottom of the 6th. 2 runs, not 3 runs. What am I doing? It's a 2 there. They take a 3-1 lead. And now, Brew Crew has the task of getting those runs back. Pat Underwood has fatigue of 27 batters, but he's doing really well. He's only faced 17, so he's got a long way to go before that comes up. Hey, Joel. All right, here is Wolford. He will start things off. Jim Wolford. That's a 53. We got a range check. Right out of the chute. Go to a range check. 14 is a range of the center fielder. We're checking the center fielder's range. That happens to be Ron LaFleur. So we'll check LaFleur's range in center field. His range is a 9. So 1 to 9, he makes the play. 10 or 20, it's going to drop. And that's going to drop in for a base hit. Failed range play. I believe it's just a single, but I'll double check it. 14. No, actually it's a double. 14 is a double, so it will be a double. Double for Mr. Wolford. And the Brew Crew trying to make a comeback pretty quickly. Time run is at the plate in Paul Molitor. It's a 41, and that's going to be a walk. So all of a sudden, Underwood in trouble. First and second, nobody out for Don Money. 25, and that is an out. So what kind of out we've got? 13, runners on first and second, and a 13. And he's a right-handed batter. It's grounded to short. Fielder's choice at second base, 6-4. But a strong or average arm second baseman turns a double play. Does Whitaker have a strong or average arm? Whitaker at second base has an average arm, so this turns into a double play, 6-4-3. Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play, thanks to the at least average arm of Lou Whitaker. So it's going to go Trammell to Whitaker. Going to third is Wolford, but now there are 2 outs. 2 outs, runner at third for Sal Bando. 21 for Bando, and he is an out. That will end the inning. The out will be a ground ball to third, and that'll do it. So the Brew Crew put 2 on with nobody out, but the double play was the killer. And now we go to the 7th inning with the score still 3-1 in favor of the Tigers. Due up for the Tigers, it'll be a bunch of lefties: Kemp, Thompson, Summers, and Staub. Next 4 hitters are all left-handed. So Jerry Augustine is going to see if he can't neutralize those lefties. 64 for Kemp, and for Augustine, that's going to be an out on his A grades. And a 7 fly ball to left. 1 away for Jason Thompson. That is a 44. More doubles. That's what we needed. More doubles. Yay, we love doubles. Get to feel like we're playing APA, but that would be a nightmare for me to be playing APA, so I'm not going to do that. That would be a nightmare if I dreamt I was playing APA. Friends don't let friends play APA. Remember that. All right, here is Champ Summers. 21, and that's an out. And that is an 8. That's a fly to center. 2 down. 2 down for Rusty Staub. 43, and that's going to be an out again. And that will be a ground ball to short to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Tigers. We go to the 7th inning stretch here at County Stadium. It is Detroit 3, Milwaukee 1. Pat Underwood pitching a fine game, belying his stats. Underwood, if you look at Underwood's numbers on the season, he was 6-4 with an ERA of 4.59. So he's not exactly Jack Morris or anything, but you never know. That's why you roll the dice. All right, here's Storm and Gorman. You're not missing anything, Joel. It's how many doubles can you roll, basically what it is, and the pitcher is kind of a bystander for most of the game. But it's all about rolling doubles. And there are no results on the card. You got to check a chart on every single at bat. All right, here's Gorman Thomas. People like it, and more power to them. It's just not for me. Thomas, an 11 more doubles. There we go. Every time I roll a double, I'm reminded of APA. So Thomas with the walk. Leadoff walk. Brings up Sixto Lescano. 31. That is normally a single, but I do pick up the homebrew from Replay Gamer to make that a range play. So we're going to switch this off and make it a range check just to try to limit the number of hits, because they say the game runs hot once in a while with too many hits. So I'll make it a range play at 11 to left field. Left fielder range for the Tigers is Steve Kemp. Check Kemp's range. Kemp, left field, his range is an 8. 1 to 8 he gets to this. And he does not, so it'll stay a base hit. So we'll go to the runner on first base hit chart, and we'll roll to see what kind of a hit it is. An 11. Hit the left field, runner on first holds at second. So first and second, then Brewers were here last inning, and double play kind of derailed them. So we'll see what happens this time. Cecil Cooper is up. Lefty, lefty. Here is Cooper. And more doubles. 55. We got a solid double for Cecil Cooper. If I tried out for the major leagues and played a couple of games in a major league season, and I would probably be, a 0-0-0 hitter or something like that. But even in APA, I can do well if I roll doubles on my own card. So that's just, you roll doubles, you're going to do everything. All right, and it doesn't matter. You can have Cy Young on the mound. He can't stop it. All right, so Cooper with a double, first and second. And we'll check the runner advancement on a double. 12. It's hit to center field. The runners hold. But if there are 2 outs, a fast runner would score. So There aren't two outs, so it's just going to be second and third now. RBI double. Lascano goes to third. Cooper stays at second. It's now a 3-2 game. Still nobody out for Dick Davis. And now the Tiger bullpen starting to stir. They only have 3 active relievers available. They have right-hander Dave Tobick. They have Senor Smoke Aurelio Lopez, who's like their closer. And they also have John Hiller, who's like a secondary closer. So you got 3. They got 3 arms in the bullpen. You got all righties coming up pretty much, so you would tend to be looking at a right-hander. Underwood has not reached fatigue yet, but he's starting to give up some runs. Might be seeing, man. I think this is a tough call. We're going to make the move. Sparky's going to make the move, or I don't know if it's Sparky yet, or if he had taken over in '79 yet or not. I know there was another manager before him, and I don't remember what date he took over. But whoever's the manager for the Tigers is going to be bringing in Aurelio Lopez, Senor Smoke, try to get out of a devastatingly bad situation. So Lopez will be coming on. Underwood's going to go 6+, and now he's got to hope that Senor Smoke can help him out. We go to bullpen session for Senor Smoke, and he gets a 12, which is going to be a B grade. So he's on his B grades. Dick Davis, the batter. Infield is in. You got to choke that run off. It is 21 for Dick Davis, and that's a strikeout, 1-15. And that's a 14. He struck him out, so Senor Smoke gets the K. He gets the K. Yes, Brian, when this is over, I am strictly going back to nothing but Strat-O-Matic. That is my love, and that's the game I'm most excited about. So in the near future, that's what I will be doing. All right, here is Charlie Moore. Infield still in. That is a 13, and that's an out. Let's see what the out is. A 4, second and third, and a 4. Ground out to second, runners advance, but if the infield is in, see below. If the infield is in, roll 1d6. 1-2 is a single, 3 is a range check, and 4 or 5 is a risk at home with a certain amount of safety and so forth. So we're going to roll 1d6, see if it gets through. That is a 2. So on a 2, it says it's going to be a single. So it's a base hit. With the infield drawn in, it turns into a base hit. We go to the base running advancement. That's a 14. So let's see here. 14. It's hit to left field. Both runners score. So a 2-run single off the bat of Charlie Moore, and the Brew Crew have taken the lead 4-3. And so all those runs are charged to Underwood. He could be the loser, as Lopez unable to hold on. Still only 1 out, and here's Wolford. 6 more doubles, just what we need. This game's already getting on my freaking nerves. I almost don't want to finish it. It's just ridiculous with all these doubles. Let's see here. Run on first, 66 is a double. And that's a 3. Let's see, runner on first and a double and a 3. It's hit to right field, weak or average. Scores if the outfielder is a weak or average arm in right field. Right field is Summers, and he is an average arm, so that means the runner will score. RBI double. Because of doubles, 4 runs in now for the Brew Crew. Let's just roll some more doubles, why don't we? Might as well. Here's Molitor. We didn't get any doubles this time. 42 is going to be a walk, though. Take that. Let's see if we can bat around. Here's money. Oh, we just missed the doubles. 43. Potential walk, though, 1 to 6. 14 is out. That's a 5, first and second out chart. 5, right-handed batter. Grounder to third. White die 1, runners advance. The white die was not a 1. So we get a fielder's choice at third, 5 unassisted. The strong arm third baseman starts a double play. Rodriguez at third base is an average arm, so he just gets the force at third. 5 unassisted. And now the 9th man to bat in the inning is going to be Sal Bando. And more doubles. Yay, doubles. Stadium cheers. Yay. I'm doing my best RJL impression on that. 1 to 10 is a walk. And, of course, it's a walk. It's going to load the bases. Brewers will now bat around. And they got it let off the inning. Gorman Thomas will come back up to hit again. That's correct, Brian. I got too much crap going on. There's no way in the world I could play a full season in both leagues. There's just no way that could happen. Maybe one day in the future I might do it but if I do it, it would be for an older season with fewer games, like 1952 or something like that. All right, we're going to see if we can avoid a double, if at all possible. 64, we avoided the double, and it's a strikeout, and the inning's over. The misery is finally over in that inning. 4 runs for the Brew Crew. It is now 5 to 3. And Aurelio Lopez trying to tell the manager, I did the best I could, but I can't compete with these doubles. It's just not fair. I might have to start home brewing something. If I roll a double, I roll again to make sure I have to roll doubles twice in a row for it to take effect. I may have to start instituting that because this is getting to be ridiculous. All right, here's Lance Parrish, top of the 8th. Here is 15, and that's going to be a strikeout for Jerry Augustine of Lance Parrish. No double, no hit. There you go. Here's Rodriguez. 21, no double, no hit. He's out. And that's going to be a 12 with the bases empty. And that is a pop-up to wherever the white die is. It's pops it up. With a right-handed batter, he pops it up to the first baseman. Handled by Cooper, 2 down for Alan Trammell. Whoops. Alan Trammell. Oh, my goodness. Really? More doubles. Which result in a base hit, by the way. And now he has to steal because of the plus sign behind that. So Trammell, well, let me look at his card and see this. Trammell, his stolen base rating is an 11. Catcher for the Brewers, Charlie Moore, probably has an average arm, I would imagine. And he does. So no effect. So 1 to an 11, and Trammell is safe. And he is. So it's a stolen base for Trammell. Gets into scoring position with 2 outs for Ron LaFleur. LaFleur is the tying run. And if he can roll some doubles, we might have a tie game. Nope, 46. That's a ballpark card. If we haven't gone to the ballpark card all day, might as well do that too while we're at it. We get an 18, and that will be 18 will be a stretch single into a double center field. So the runner will score automatically from second, but the question is, can the runner stretch the single into the double? It says all runners advance 2 bases, so the runner on second automatically scores. Single for LaFleur. He's going to try to stretch into a double. With the 18, it's hit to center field. And let's see here. Use the outfielder's assist rating. So we go to the assist rating on Gorman Thomas, and it's only a 2. It's only a 2 for his assist rating. So it's a good chance he'll make it. And he does. So it's going to stretch that into a double. So it turns to an RBI double for Ron LaFleur. Cuts the lead to 5-4 for Lou Whitaker. Come on, Whitaker, give me some doubles. There we go. What can I say? I should go to Vegas. 55. Lou Whitaker. 1-2 is a double. Anything else is a single. That's a single. We'll check the runner advancement. That's a 6. So a runner on second. Base hit. And 6. Hit to right field. Scores if a fast or average runner or 2 outs. Well, there's 2 outs, so he scores. Then we got a tie game at 5. One good doubles deserve another set of doubles. And now both teams can be frustrated. And here's Steve Kemp. Kemp, 31. That's a base hit, but it's a range check instead via the home brew. So we go to our home brew for the range check. And we get a 42. 42 is a range check on the second baseman, Don Money. Money, range for Money at second base is a 7. Got to have a 7 or less to get to this. He does not. It's a base hit. So the failed range play. Failed range play. It's an infield single, so just a 1 base advancement. So he knocked it down but couldn't make a play. And now here's Jason Thompson. Thompson, the batter. 46. That's another ballpark check. We get a 12, and that's going to be a foul out for a left-handed hitter. So out to the third baseman, Bando, to end the inning. But 2 runs come in, and we are tied at 5 apiece. Five apiece of the 8th. Senor Smoke going to try to take advantage of getting the score tied and leave it that way, but kind of hoping he doesn't do that. Let's see here. So bottom of the 8th we go. Lopez will face Sixto Lescano. And more doubles, just what we needed. 33, base hit. Sixto Lescano, way to go, Sixto. You demand the doubles. Gonna bring up Cooper. 13 for Cooper, he's out. There's an X there, so if it's a ground out on the D20, it would be a double play automatically. And that's a 12. And a 12 is a pop-up. So it's a pop-up to the white die, which was a 3. Pops it up to first, and that's 1 away. That'll send up Dick Davis. Although now with Lopez in the game, the Brewers could go to a different DH. Maybe bring in a lefty if they would like. They got a pretty good hitter sitting over on the bench that they're going to bring in, and that's going to be Ben Oglivie. Oglivie will hit for Dick Davis and stay in the game to play DH. So Ben Oglivie is going to pinch hit, what he can do. 1 out runner at first. .52, that's going to be an error check. We'll see who the error check is on. It's a 62. We're checking the shortstop, Alan Trammell. So Trammell's error rating is a 8. So we have to get a 9 or higher to avoid the error. And that's a 10. So he does avoid the error. Let's see what the play is. Where'd it go? 62, right? Okay. So it's an error check on the shortstop. Since there's no error, if the D20 was odd, it'd be a double play, but the D20 was even, so it's a fielder's choice. It's going to go 6-4. Ogle will be out, 2 down for Charlie Moore. 65, that's a home run chance. Lopez is a 1 to 4, but it's -2 from Moore, so it's only a 1 or a 2. And that's going to be an out. And we'll say the out is a 15, which is a ground out to short to end the inning. So we go to the ninth, tied at 5 apiece. And the Brewers might look to go to a new pitcher. I think Augustine has exhausted his usage. So the Brew Crew will go to the bullpen. Coming up for the Tigers, it is Summers, Staub. So we got some lefties coming up. So they will go to Bob McClure out of the bullpen. Will the Brew Crew see if the Tigers want to pinch hit with a right-hander by any chance? They do have quite a few right-handers, of course. They've got Jerry Morales, Lynn Jones, John Wackenfuss, Mark Wagner, and then one lefty backup catcher. Actually, he's a righty, backup catcher, Ed Putnam. They're all right-handed. Let's see, Summers is in right field. So let's see who's rated decently at right field and who's got the best hitter. Lynn Jones. So they're going to bring in Lynn Jones. He's got the best average of anybody on the bench. Plus, he can play right field. So Lynn Jones will hit for Summers to start the top of the ninth against McClure, who we need a bullpen session for. And that's an 11, so he is B grade. All right, Lynn Jones. 23, that's going to be an out. The out will be a 1, right back to McClure. A little ground ball. Easy play for McClure, and Jones is out. Here's Rusty Staub. That's a 46. We're going to the ballpark card once again. We get a 13, and that's going to be a foul out to third base. Scott fouls out to Bando. 2 quick outs for Lance Parrish. 14, he's out. And that's going to be a ground ball to short to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Chance for the Brewers to walk it off in a 5-5 game. Let's see how many batters Lopez has faced. Let's see here. He may be running on fumes as well. Coming up for the Brew Crew, it is Moore, Wolford, and Mulder. So they're all right-handers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. He's faced 8 batters. He can face 12. So he can go one more inning. He can squeeze one more inning out of Lopez, I do believe. One more inning they're going to try. And see if they can get it done. Charlie Moore. Fix up the Tigers here. Get them all straight. So Charlie Moore will lead things off. Moore 1 for 4 in the game. 42. 42 is going to be a walk. So leadoff walk. Oh, wait a minute. Moore was the last out. So it should have actually been Wolford, but the result's the same because it came off the pitcher card. So Wolford's the one that's going to walk. Not bad. Wolford walks. And that brings up Mahler. And what do you know? More doubles. Get a single. Check the runner advancement. That's a 13, and that's to right field. The runner advances to third. So the runners on the corners. Nobody out. Infield is in. Outfield is in. I'm in. The whole world is in for Don Money. And more doubles wins the game. How do you know? Well, it may not be. 1 to 13. It's 13 to 20. It's a walk. Otherwise, the game's over. And the game is over. There you go. Appropriately ends with back-to-back doubles. Just like we like. We love doubles. And there's your ball game. 6-5. Milwaukee walks off Detroit to defeat the Tigers. Aurelio Lopez takes the loss. Bob McClure gets the win. And we'll figure out, I don't believe there were any errors in the game. I don't believe so. Check our hits. Tigers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got them for 15 hits. For the Brewers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got them for 11 hits unofficially. 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Brewers. 5 runs, 15 hits, and no errors for the Tigers. So there you go. There you go. Double City. Very Apple-like. Next week, assuming this continues, we will be in Toronto, Minnesota and Toronto. Minnesota and Toronto will be the game. Dave Stieb on the mound against Jerry Kuzman is the matchup. That is next Saturday. But for now, Milwaukee defeats Detroit on a walk-off single from Don Money, a score of 6-5. So, happy 4th of July to everybody. Sorry, Chuck, your Tigers got done in by Double City. And just Aurelio Lopez just threw up his hand and said, what the crap you want me to do? I got no effect. So, you got no say in the matter. So, there it is. All right, Ernest, have a good day. Everybody out there, be safe, stay cool. Enjoy the July 4th fireworks if you're near some place that has fireworks. Let me see what the updated temperature is these days here locally. We made it to 100 degrees and it feels like 116. That's toasty. That's toasty right there. 100 and it feels like 116. Very, very good. Glad I'm indoors. All right, so that's going to do it from here. If you're interested in History Maker Golf, I'll be playing the final round of the Masters in roughly about 2 hours. Final round of the 2025 Masters on History Maker Golf. So I'll clear this board and bring out the golf mat and get everything ready for that later on. And tonight will be roughly 8:30ish, maybe 9, will be the restart of the Colorado Rockies replay 2025 season. They have had off the last 2 days, so getting back out there. Now they're at home against the Washington Nationals for a quick 3-game homestand before hitting the road to Kansas City. They took 2 out of 3 from San Diego, lost 2 out of 3 of the Dodgers, so it wasn't bad. They're still, got more wins than what they had real world. So, hello, Denny. Good to see you. So, Captain Carl, good to see you as well, if I didn't say something to you earlier. So anyway, that's it from here. It's probably time for me to go grab a bite of lunch or something. And might stick my head out the door just to see how hot it really feels. Although it's telling me it feels like 115. But we'll find out. Luckily, it's going to cool down. Red, white, and blue racing video. Boy, you're going back a ways there. I haven't pulled that game out in years. I'd have to relearn that game all over again. Captain Carl, that'll be today. I usually will do that recorded, but Ben kind of mentioned it, and I agree with him that the Masters, being a major like that, probably deserves a live stream. So I've already done the third round the other day, and I've played the front nine for everybody. So I've got them all set up, ready to go for the back nine. So probably going to do that about 3 or 3:30. I know Spokane Steve starts his strat game about 4:30, so I don't want to get too much into that. So probably around 3 o'clock is what I'm guessing. We'll play the final round of the Masters, and that will be live. But hopefully it won't take that long. We'll see. When you get those out of contending golfers that fall off the map, then that speeds the game up a little bit. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Have a safe Saturday, everybody. And stay cool out there if it's overly hot in your area. Take care of your pets. Take care of your elderly if you have any of those that you're responsible for. And until next time, enjoy whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.